The divorce papers trembled in my hand, but not because I was heartbroken, not because I doubted my decision. They trembled because my body could barely contain the storm raging inside me: betrayal, anger, and a sharp, almost electric anticipation. Asterisk across. From me, James leaned back on the sofa, smirking. Not grief, not regret. No, my husband's face was twisted with the effort of hiding a smile. Asterisk, so, you'll really just leave? He asked, eyebrows lifted in mock concern. His voice dripped with sarcasm, the same tone he always used whenever I dared stand up for myself. Asterisk, but what cut deeper wasn't his words. It was the fact that his hand, the same hand that once slipped a ring on my finger, was now intertwined with hers. Rachel, his mistress. Asterisk, she sat beside him on my designer sofa. The sofa I had worked late nights and weekends to afford. 6 months of saving. Only for her to perch there like a queen, claiming her throne. Asterisk, I'm taking all my personal belongings with me, I said evenly, placing the divorce papers on the coffee table between us. My voice was calm, deliberate. I refused to give either of them the satisfaction of seeing me break. Just so we're clear. Asterisk, Rachel's eyes swept across the room. I noticed the way her fingers trailed along the velvet armrest. How her gaze lingered on the art pieces, the curated lighting, the elegant decor that had transformed this old house into something out of a magazine spread. Asterisk, this place is perfect. She sighed dreamily, like she was already picturing herself as the lady of the house. It's exactly what I've always wanted. Asterisk, James squeezed her hand, his eyes cold as he turned back to me. Your old clothes and whatever, take them. Honestly, they just remind me of our miserable time together. Asterisk, I nodded slowly, letting his words hang in the air. I'll have movers here tomorrow, I said. Then I reminded him, firmly, and don't forget, James. You agreed. No division of property. My name is Lauren. I'm 29 years old, and I'm an interior designer. Asterisk, and this is the story of how I emptied more than just a house. 3 years earlier, when I married James, I thought I was marrying a partner. Someone who valued hard work, someone who appreciated beauty and effort. He was 34, working in construction management, and had just inherited his grandparents' old house. Asterisk, the property was solid, yes, structurally sound, but inside, it was a time capsule of bad choices: beige walls, yellowing curtains, scuffed laminate flooring. The furniture was worse, mismatched hand-me-downs from friends. A sagging sofa, chipped tables from discount stores. Asterisk, when we married, I saw potential. I'm a designer. To me, spaces aren't just walls and floors, they're canvases. I poured myself into that house. With my design expertise, savings, and sleepless nights, I transformed that outdated space into something people gasped at when they walked through the auteurous mid-century modern furniture. Statement lighting, custom window treatments. Every detail was deliberate. Every purchase, documented. I had receipts for everything, not just from professional habit, but also because I knew James. He was careless with money, careless with responsibility. Asterisk, and, as I would later find out, careless with me. The red flags had been there. Dishes left for me, even after we agreed to share chores. Complaints about meals I'd cooked after 10-hour workdays. Snide remarks about how obsessed I was with aesthetics. Asterisk, but I kept trying. That's what I believed marriage was: compromise. Asterisk, what I couldn't compromise on was betrayal. Asterisk, 6 months ago, I found the texts. Rachel, 25. A temp at his office with an Instagram account full of home decor inspiration she clearly couldn't afford. Their messages left no room for doubt. She wasn't just after James. She was after the life I had built. Asterisk James has such amazing taste. She wrote to a friend. Asterisk his wife doesn't appreciate what he's built. Asterisk I laughed bitterly when I read that. Amazing taste. Built what? He hadn't even chosen the curtains in his own bedroom. Asterisk, but I didn't confront him immediately. No, I collected everything. Screenshots, receipts, from their dinner dates, hotel bills. I wanted evidence, proof, not for him, for me. I needed to be absolutely certain before I made my move. Asterisk, when I finally did confront them, it wasn't explosive. It wasn't tears or screaming. It was strategic. Asterisk Rachel actually arrived at our house with a smug smile. Dressed in a designer outfit she probably couldn't afford without James's help. She leaned forward like she was doing me a favor. Asterisk, I never meant to hurt you, she said, in her fake, sympathetic voice. But when two people connect the way James and I have asterisk, let's just get this over with. I cut her off. I slid the divorce papers across the table. Asterisk James barely glanced at them before smirking. See, I told you Lauren would be reasonable, he said to her. Asterisk Karen. Rachel corrected with a laugh, confusing my name. Asterisk James chuckled. Oh right, Lauren. Practical, as always. Asterisk, the slip didn't faze me. He'd been calling me the wrong name for months now. Rachel stood, suddenly. Come, let me show you what I'd change. Asterisk, I watched silently as she floated through the house like she owned it. Her hands brushing over furniture I'd hand-selected. Her eyes lighting up at the statement chandelier I'd spent weeks sourcing. Asterisk, these fixtures are gorgeous. And this dining table custom, isn't it? She asked, her tone gleeful. Asterisk, it is, I replied evenly. Every piece was specifically chosen to complement this space. Asterisk, perfect, she breathed. I wouldn't change a thing. Asterisk, you won't have to, James assured her. Lauren's just taking her clothes and personal stuff, right? Asterisk, I nodded. The movers will be here at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That night, I stayed in the guest room. I didn't sleep. I heard their laughter, their whispers, their footsteps in the room that used to be mine. Asterisk, I didn't cry. Instead, I opened my laptop. I went over my inventory one last time. Every receipt, every purchase, every lamp, rug, and appliance. Asterisk, by morning. I was ready. At exactly 9 a.m., 2 massive trucks pulled up. 6 movers climbed out, followed by the foreman. Asterisk, morning, Miss Turner, he greeted with a nod. We've got the inventory list you sent. Big job today. Asterisk, James and Rachel emerged from the bedroom in robes, blinking at the sunlight, and clearly annoyed at the noise. Asterisk, why are there 2 trucks? Rachel asked, frowning as movers began carefully wrapping the living room artwork. How many clothes do you have? Asterisk, I said nothing. Just handed the foreman my tablet. Asterisk, the men moved efficiently. Furniture wrapped, art lifted, light fixtures carefully dismantled. Even the custom curtains removed with precision. Asterisk, it took 20 minutes for James to realize what was happening. Asterisk, what the hell? He exploded, rushing toward the movers, who were disassembling the sectional. Stop. That's my couch. Asterisk, actually. I handed him a thick folder. Receipts. Every single item purchased with my money. After we married, his face drained of color as he flipped through the pages. You can't. We've been using these for years. Asterisk usage doesn't equal ownership, I said calmly. Remember, no division of property. Asterisk Rachel's voice pitched into a scream. You're taking everything. Asterisk not the house, I corrected smoothly. That belongs to James. Just everything in it. By noon, the living room was bare. By 2 p.m., the kitchen was stripped. Asterisk by 4 p.m. Even the curtain rods and sconces were gone. Asterisk James's threats turned to begging. Rachel's fury turned to silence. Then came the final blow. A small van pulled up. 2 men in coveralls walked in. Asterisk Mrs. Turner, we're here for the wallpaper removal. Asterisk Rachel gasped. You can't take the walls. Asterisk not the walls, I corrected. Just what's on them. Custom print. $8,000. My company paid for it. Asterisk by the time I left, the house was emptier than before I'd ever touched it. Cold. Exposed. A hollow shell. Weeks later, James called. Asterisk Lauren. Please. His voice cracked. All his arrogance was gone. Rachel left. She said she couldn't live like this. I said, sipping my coffee. I was wrong, he admitted. About you. About her. About everything. The house looks terrible without you. I didn't realize how much you did. Please, can you help me? Asterisk, I smiled. My new apartment gleamed around me. I had already sold most of the old furniture, reinvested in pieces that reflected me now, strong, independent, and free. Asterisk, I'm afraid that's not possible, I said. But I wish you luck with your decorating. Asterisk, I hung up. Blocked his number. Asterisk, the divorce was final. The house was empty. Asterisk and me. I was finally free. Some spaces, once emptied, are never meant to be filled again.